Hi and welcome to SBR Picks. I'm your host, Nadia Host. Today we'll be looking at the Dallas Mavericks odds for the upcoming season. Joining us today is professional handicapper Dave Golikoff. Dave, it's always a pleasure to have you with us.
Thanks.
Sure. So Dallas gets Chandler back, and if the 13-year-old veteran can keep his back healthy, the Mavericks become a true NBA title contender even in the very deep Western Conference. What can we expect from both Chandler and the Mavericks this season?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, yes, this team, I guess you would have to say, is an NBA championship contender. But when you take a look at this roster, I'm one of the skeptics on this team, but I've learned that you can't really be a skeptic of this team. Rick Carlisle, for some reason, gets the most out of these guys. It seems like a really mishmash of a roster. You got Monte Ellis, who's kind of a me-first guy, but he fits in well, apparently. Him and Nowitzki work well. You know, this is a team that came together down the stretch last season and pushed the San Antonio Spurs to 7 games. Remember, the Spurs won the NBA title. So, you know, what am I expecting from this team? I'm a skeptic in general, but when you add in Tyson Chandler in there, you add in Chandler Parsons, you have to give the Mavericks a lot of credit. This team is probably not far from being, up there with the Spurs, with the Thunder, with the Clippers. I know it sounds a little bit crazy when you go through the roster pound for pound, but this team is pretty damn good.
So do you think the team can make it to the playoffs?
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to make it to the playoffs. I know last year was a bit dicey, given the fact that the West is so deep, and I think they were sort of a mishmash that came together. As I mentioned, Monte Ellis, he takes some adjusting to play with this guy. Jose Calderon was sort of phased out a little bit. So there was a lot of change for this team last year. I think now going into second year, Monte Ellis. Going into the season with more reinforcements, Chandler, Parsons, Carlisle is really getting the most out of this team, and I think they're going to be pretty confident. This team's definitely in the playoffs. I don't know how high they can climb in that tough Western Conference as far as the regular season goes, but it's not a team I'd really want to face in the first round of the playoffs.
Okay, so they're at a plus 2,000 to win the West, Dave. How would you bet the News?
Well, it's worth a little bit of a sprinkle. I mean, I wouldn't say take out a second mortgage and put it on the Mavericks, but 20-1 is a little bit juicy there for a team that, again, you have to look back to how well they played the Spurs, the eventual champions. You could probably make the case that they pushed the Spurs more than any other team in the playoffs. And then they add the defensive presence, a great rebounder in Chandler. He's going to protect Nowitzki. Nowitzki's not a great defender, so now you got Chandler beside him to help protect the rim. That's going to boost their defense. They also get Chandler Parsons. I think this is a pretty good team. 20-1 is pretty juicy odds. You take a look at the other teams there, not great value with them. So you're getting good value with the Mavericks team that, at least on paper, looks like they're capable of doing it.
As always, very insightful, Dave. We really appreciate your feedback. Talk to you soon.
All right.
For SBR Picks, this is Nadia Holtz.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns. Big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.